Hello everyone and welcome back to more Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelists of the Roses. It's been a while, to put it lightly, and suffice to say, I got really sick for a while, and then I was having problems with recording, and then my microphone died, so I had to go buy a new microphone, and just a lot of stuff happened. But, that's important now, because now we're back, and we're back with a new deck. This deck is a Stall+Burn deck. That's right. Now, it's obviously not going to be the same type of Stall+Burn as you're used to. What this deck mainly focuses on is stalling the opponent by spellbinding their cards as they try to make an assault towards you, while whittling down their life points with magic cards. So with that, let's jump right in. 2 invisible wires. You can get invisible wire off of either Pegasus or Darkness Ruler. 3 Tears of the Mermaid. You can win these off of Taya, Joey, or Darkness Ruler. 3 Mesmeric Controls. You can also win these off of Pegasus or Darkness Ruler. And you may be wondering why I have 3 of these cards that only spellbind for 1 turn as opposed to something like, say, Shadow Spell. Well, I'll get into that a little bit later in the deck when I talk about this deck's main strategy. Spellbinding Circle. You can win this off of Yuki. Curse Breaker. This is just an all-around useful card in case an opponent gets too powerful or you need to unspellbind something of your own. You can win this off of multiple people. You can win it off of Yugi, Mai, Seto, Ishtar, or Richard/Sheen of York. 2 Paralyzing Potions. You can win these off of either Joey or Darkness Ruler. And here's the big one. 2 Just Desserts. Now, the only way you could have seen this card probably is if you bought Jasper Dice Tudor. And in fact, opponent's life point suffers damage equivalent to 300 points multiplied by the number of enemies on the field. This means that for every card your opponent has out on the field, monster or magic or trap, they will take 300 damage. So they'll take anywhere between 300 to 3,000. This is honestly one of the biggest cards in the deck. And obviously you can't win this in the slot. But it is very easy to get. The only way to get it is by reincarnating, obviously. But that might seem tricky at first because it has 80 deck cost. Where you're going to get a card with that much out of the slot? Very simply, go duel Mai. Because Mai's deck leader is Harpy Lady, that means Harpy Lady is always going to appear in the slots. And if you line up 3 Harpy Ladies, you'll get either a Harpy's Pet Dragon or a Harpy's Feather Duster. And Harpy's Feather Duster is a magic card that has 70 deck cost. And that's how I got both Just Desserts. You can also get some other good cards, which I'll show off right now. Or I'll show off a little bit later, for that. 3 Tremendous Fires. Again, you can't win this off of slots. You can only win this by reincarnating, but this is easier. It only has 40 deck cost, so you really only need to reincarnate cards between 30 and 50. You can reincarnate field spells, or you could really reincarnate just anything. But again, it's easier if it's a magic card, I found. 3 Ookazis, you can win these off of Joey, and these just deal 500 points of damage. I wanted to mention, Tremendous Fires deal 1,000 points of damage. And now for this. Final Flame, which you can win off of Shadi, which deals 200 damage. And 3 Sparks, which you can win off of Rex Raptor, which deal 50 damage. I'm not gonna lie, these 4 cards are really sucky, and the only reason they're in here is because, as you probably saw, a bunch of those cards were very high deck cost, and this deck can really reach super high. So these cards are mainly just in here for deck management, and because they're direct damage spells, so they kind of fit with the theme. But honestly, you can replace these 4 cards with anything if you want to go for a higher deck cost. I just wanted to keep the cost relatively low. 2 Gifts of the Mystical Elves. And this is another strategy of the deck, is to also raise your life points up, so it's continuously more difficult for them to wipe you out. Gift of the Mystical Elf recovers 1,500 of your life points, decently low deck cost, and you can win this off them off of Seto. 2 Red Medicines, both of which you can win off of Rex Raptor, and they restore 500 life points. 2 Graverobbers. You can also get these by reincarnating Harpy's Feather Duster, just like how you can get Just Desserts. So just follow the same method I did, get Harpy's Feather Duster, keep reincarnating, and you'll get Graverobber soon enough. Basically, Graverobber lets you copy a spell card from your or the opponent's graveyard. So these are basically just here to get either Tremendous Fire or Just Desserts back out of the graveyard. Or if you're feeling particularly pointless, you can use Graverobber to revive Graverobber, and then just keep going in its loop forever. Ancient Tree of Enlightenment. Now this is important, because the one thing that really can screw this deck over is Magic Dampers. So, Ancient Tree of Enlightenment, when he's in face-up defense mode, prevents the use of trap cards. Now you might think that's counterintuitive, because obviously we rely on the trap cards to spellbind our opponent as they're coming in. This is basically alleviated by the fact that you can switch Ancient Tree of Enlightenment into attack mode, and trap cards are out again. Once the opponent is spellbound, switch him back in defense mode. And I will also point out that I find it hilarious because there's a trap card called Royal Decree. You've probably seen it. While Royal Decree is out, all trap cards are negated. But you can't deactivate Royal Decree, and Royal Decree has 54 more deck costs in Ancient Tree of Enlightenment, so I will never understand why Royal Decree exists. But you can win Ancient Tree of Enlightenment either using the password, but like I said, we don't do that here, or you can win it in the slots off of Bakura. Dark Plant, he has a nice effect. Basically, when he's destroyed, all the squares around him are transformed into plush terrain. And this is basically just to create a dead zone that your opponent really can't travel to you towards. And this card, right here, is the entire thing that holds this deck together. The Ancient Jar. While the Ancient Jar is in face-up defense mode, the turn count for spellbound cards doesn't move forward. This means, if a card's spellbound, and Ancient Jar is in face-up defense mode, it is basically eternally spellbound. So that's why I had all of those cards that only spellbind for one turn, because they're a lot lower deck costs, and on top of that, and Ancient Jar will keep them spellbound forever. You can win Ancient Jar. Actually, you can't win Ancient Jar off of any opponent in the game. You can only get him through either reincarnating, which I recommend you again reincarnate low-cost rock-type monsters, and you can usually win rock-types off of Shadi. But again, you can pretty much reincarnate low-cost of anything to get him. It's, like I said, the reincarnation system in this game is kind of weird and a bit random, so, like I said, 11 cost, just reincarnate around that area. The alternative is, if you chose the Serpentine Princess deck at the start of the game, you've got this card in that deck, so you can just duplicate it once it's your deck leader. Aqua Snake, when he's flipped face up in battle, he spellbinds the opponent for one turn, again triggering the Eternal Spellbound from Ancient Jar, and you can win him off of Mako. Oh, Change Slime. This isn't really a spellbound themed card. You can win this off of Mako, and it's very low deck cost, and its effect is that when it's flipped face up in battle, it copies the opponent's stat. So it essentially kills the opponent along with itself. And this is useful if a strong monster gets too far into your territory. The Shadow who controls the dark. When this card's flipped face up, it spellbinds the opponent for 3 turns, again triggering Eternal Spellbound. You can get this off of... I know you can get it off of Jasper Tudor, and I don't know if you can get it off of Darkness Ruler. I'll put it up on screen now if I'm wrong. Invitation to a Dark Sleep. This card is evil in combination with Ancient Jar, because its effect, when it's flipped face up, all of your opponent's cards are spellbound for 1 turn. So, if you activate this card's effect, and Ancient Jar is in face-up defense mode, you just eternally spellbound every single one of your opponent's cards. Yeah, that is what I call a frickin' wombo combo. Phantom Dewan, and you can win this off of Jasper Tudor, again, simple 3-turn spellbound. And the deck leader, Ancient Jar. Now, really, because this deck isn't themed around any particular type of monster, your deck leader choice doesn't really matter as much. I only picked Ancient Jar aside from the fact that he's the one that contributes really a lot to this deck, is because well, if you've ever seen the deck leader FAQ on sites like Game FAQ or anything like that, you'll see that it's a bit incomplete and that some deck leaders aren't filled out. I've actually been trying to work on filling that out by trying to see like what the low level abilities for certain monsters are, what full monster abilities are, stuff like that. And I was training up Ancient Jar, and I was pleasantly surprised because let's look at his leader abilities. The low-level ability that he gets is direct damage halved. Now this means if your opponent makes a direct attack against your deck leader, you will take half damage from it. But you'll still take full damage from battle between monsters, and from magic cards or monster effects or anything like that. It's just direct damage against you from a monster attack that's halved. Increased strength for same-type friendlies. Improved resistance for same-type friendlies. Improved resistance basically means that as long as they're within the range of the deck leader, they won't set off magic or trap cards. There's no real point to that in this deck though, because, like I said, you're not going to be attacking. Destroy specific enemy type, which is nice. Ancient Jar is a rock type, so he destroys dinosaur types. And of course, extended support range. So, now that I've had a chance to take a breath, let us be off, and let us duel somebody with this deck. This deck is honestly really, really effective, because I've very rarely seen... I don't think I've lost with this deck yet. Then again, I don't lose terribly often in this game anymore, as you can see. 221 wins, 7 losses. Let's just duel Richard/Sheen of York, because he's kind of easy, but he has a bum rush strategy, so I can at least show off how I can stall him out. Here we go. What do we got? No. Dumb. Like I said, the life point recovery cards are kind of there really for filler. I mean, you can activate them if you want, but I just prefer to get some of the cheap cards in the deck, if only for this video's purpose. Although fighting Rex Raptor in this deck is absolutely hilarious because he can't do anything to you, because he has all dinosaur-type monsters, so none of his monsters can even come close to you. And it's funny because once he realizes that any monster that gets close gets killed instantly, he'll stop playing cards. He'll just stop playing cards altogether. I don't understand it. Alright. 500 damage. How do you like that, huh? Still got a ways to go, though. And you'll obviously want to conserve just desserts until they have at least 5,000 heal. You want to get at least 1,500 out of it. Alright. 2 squares, yeah, and activate on trap cards. As Eric control. Okay, but we still do have an abundance of trap cards to pull now. Put down Tears of the Mermaid. Although I should probably get rid of Ancient Treatment Lamp because, well, he doesn't have magic damage and his trap cards are overly threatening. Except for maybe Acid Trap Hole, but I'm never going to attack anything, so... Alright, and now we're going to attack Tears of the Mermaid. We'll dump the Ancient Tree and actually give it to this world. Life point recovery! Actually, I don't know if any of you have ever gotten a deck leader that has the life point recovery ability. You've obviously seen it if you've fought Bakura, but that is the most annoying ability in existence, because you have to watch that little, life point recovery animation at the end of every single one of your turns. You're just like, I get it! I got life points back. You know what? Better safe than sorry. Spellbound. Alright, you got anything else for us? Alright, he's got 6 cards out in the field. It's officially just as this time. Now, I almost called it one. I'll dump out some of these cards. Now, Richard/Sheen, it's time for just desserts! 1,800 damage. He's not going to be able to win with another one of those. show off the ancient jar and invitation to a dark sleep combo because it really is just hilarious. Uh-oh. Still be alive. So what I'm going to do is set a trap of my own. Attack that monster. Dare. That's actually only going to 1,000. Oh dear. Quite the sticky situation now. Oh well. Actually, wait a minute. I've got an idea. If I activate Curse Breaker on Swamp Battle Bar. Ha! He's back to 1800 attack and now he's dead. Still nothing threatening, though. I'll just spellbind that M-Warrior when it gets a bit too close. Actually, put it right in front of me. Of course it's too close. Change. Magnetic control. They're just waiting on that ancient jar. Nope. Magnetic control goes up. How dare you? Dare you try to attack me? Actually, I could probably just leave him right there. Decrease direct damage, he's probably only doing like 100 damage. Another just desserts, but we don't want that. And we don't really need to just want to show off invitations to dark sleep plus ancient jar. Nope. Like 14 cards in our deck. Gotta get at least ancient jar. Now they have to touch all their cards. Just add the duelists more. Hey, that's not what you were supposed to do. Okay, give me invitation to dark sleep. Graverobbers and Aspire, because, like I said, all we need is one more just desserts damage. Actually, I shouldn't activate that, because M-Warrior will then just move it down. Yep, defensive. Alright. Nope, putting whatever that is defensive. Alright, perfect. Finally have the ancient jar. So put the invitation to a dark sleep down. And then next turn, madness truly begins. And you want to know what I have to say for the fact that you have to touch all your cards every goddamn freaking turn? You know what I have to say to that, sir? F you. Because now all of your cards are eternally spellbound, so you're not going to touch any of them. Ha! No, just taunt you. We're gonna hit you with some sparks. Eat it. 50 damage. How's that? As you can see, now normally they would all become unspellbound, but look, everything is still spellbound. So wizards, and let the glory of this right here just sink in. Everything's spellbound, and he's not touching all of his cards. Look at this, this is amazing! Alright, I've had my fill. Die. 24. Victory. You win. Alright, very easy to win that. He doesn't really have anything in the graveyard that I want. Oh yeah, Ancient Jar also gets the graveyard slot arrows. Like I said, I'm going to make a separate deck leader video once I finally learn more about the deck leader abilities. I fucked up. Yeah, more battle cards over here, I guess, out of the Legendary Sword. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this new deck guide walkthrough, and I hope you'll tune in for whatever I put up next. So, thank you all for watching, and see you all next time.